Let me start.
Okay.
Remember your speaking skills.
Okay,
I know.
you can now.
Hi, my name is Manny Naval. I've been reading some of neo-think literature with my wife Cora, and it's been a few years. We've been reading and actually even going to events for neo-think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like we went to the Houston event.
You was in
last
Austin.
year. Yeah, in Austin.
In Austin,
Yeah.
yeah. We was there. Me and Barbara was there.
Okay.
Yeah, in Austin, yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna start reading.
Okay.
Me Too, Me Too, Me Too was said in near harmony by 11 classmates. The compassion for Sally and her mother removed a little of the fear for Sally, at least for now. She was able to stop crying for now and lift her head off Miss Annabelle. Sally, her face overwhelmed with devastation, looked at her classmates one by one. Her 8 and 9-year-old classmates looked back with compassion and love. Each child allowed Sally to look at him or her as long as she needed, without saying a word, as if her soul was being fueled with a little strength from each classmate. Miss Annabelle noticed how beautiful the children looked during this magical moment. Their eyes all looked so big and round. Their faces looked sweet, like little angels. She realized that this is how people look, all people, both children and adults, when they were pure, free of negativity and dishonesty. This was the look of pure honesty and love. People in their most genuine moment are beautiful, she thought as this magical moment lasted. With each look, Sally organized something inside her little head that was in disarray. This is exactly what she needs at this stage, Miss Annabelle realized. Each look into one of her classmates' eyes would warm Miss Annabelle's heart as she saw a little bit more emotional disarray put back into order. As Miss Annabelle watched this phenomenon, she felt so proud of her 8 and 9-year-olds. This is my family, she thought. This is my life. I love them so much. I will protect them. I will teach them how to protect themselves, to keep their dreams, and to turn them into reality. I want them to have these beautiful faces when they are all grown up. Over the next 2 weeks, Miss Annabelle struggled with the idea of death. What is the essence of death? She could not seem to break through the appearances. She thought about Sally a lot. Sally and her mother had discovered immense joy celebrating life together every day. Sally was doing fine now, but Miss Annabelle wondered how Sally would be once her mother took a turn for the worse. When thinking about Sally one evening, how to possibly protect her, Miss Annabelle could not get over the hopeless finality of death. She shook her head in dismissal when thinking about the prevalent belief that death is not final, but just the beginning. Miss Annabelle was unsure of afterlife ideas and not sure if she believed in God or if God would someday be a silly ancient idea replaced by scientific explanations. But whether she believed or not did not matter. She emotionally knew, for Sally and her mom, the hopeless finality of death. In acknowledging to herself the finality of death and its inescapable tragedy, she suddenly realized the rightness of happiness when we are alive, the unapologetic rightness of happiness during our one special flicker of life. She never thought of her life that way before, the rightness of happiness. In fact, the more she thought about the finality of death, the more she felt this rightness of happiness. Ironically, she realized, the more she thought about death, her own death and Sally's mom, the more determined, even pumped up, as her students would say, she got to squeeze every drop of happiness out of every day. What's happening here, she was wondering. I feel like celebrating and savoring each day as a precious gift with my students. Then she thought about Sally and her mother. Those two make each day a celebration together. They savor each moment as a precious gift, even the mundane and minor moments. They have amplified their rightness of happiness because of impending death. Can we all amplify our happiness by acknowledging our imminent deaths? Can we, too? 2 days later, Miss Annabelle handed out to each student a copy of typewritten sheet with 30 rows across and 29 columns down, forming 870 little squares. Children, you're just 8 or 9 years old. You have your whole futures ahead of you, but I must warn you, that future, your everything, goes by so fast that it's easy for time to flash by without you getting out of life everything that you should. In this world of illusions, it's easy to waste so much of our futures. In fact, the appearance to 8 and 9-year-olds is that you have so much time ahead of you. But digging through the appearances to the essence of your time ahead, you realize how little time we have. For instance, look at the life chart in front of you. That represents how little time we have to experience everything and to create everything we ever will in all eternity. Each square represents 1 month of our lives. I invite each of you to put an X through about 100 squares, leaving you with just about 770 left. Those 770 open squares represent your future, 770 months left. As you can see, it's not some huge vast space for adventures untold. No, it's a confined and pressing finite period of time. The limited nature of that time is why our futures seem to fly by us so fast and why it is so easy to waste those precious months. The life chart is designed for you not to be fooled by appearances, but for you to see through the essence of your future. Just 770 months left. By seeing your future this way, you'll squeeze so much more out of life. Excuse me, Miss Annabelle, Teddy was saying, raising his hand. Why 870 squares? Good question, Teddy. Now, in the 1970s in America, life expectancy has risen to 72 and a half years. What's 72 and a half years multiplied by 12? After some pencil work, Teddy said, oh yeah, 870 months. And you kids are 8 or 9 years old. 8 times 12 is 96. 9 times 12 is 108. Put an X through how many months old you are now. By doing this, you'll become acutely aware of the preciousness of life. It's a limited commodity, and a limited commodity is your everything. I do not expect Sally to do this because she and her mother know the preciousness of life. They know it so much more than we do, and they do not need to be reminded. But we do. We need to be reminded of how little life we have to experience everything we will ever know in all eternity. How many of you think about, or at least feel on a daily basis, how precious your life is and the lives of your loved ones? One hand went up, Sally's hand. The expression on her face was one of awe for Miss Annabelle, seeing through to what she and her mother had discovered. All of you will feel the preciousness of life when you start your life charts. I know because I've started my own. I have a lot more squares X'd off than you. In fact, about half of mine are gone. Every morning when I get up, I think about how precious my life is. Everything I do now, even routine things, I savor. I get so much enjoyment now out of things that before either I never stopped to notice or felt indifference for. I now celebrate my days. I really feel the excitement in life. For example, when coming to school in the mornings, I get all happy inside, like I'm going to a big celebration. I celebrate life every day now, by seeing through to the essence of our futures, how little time we really have. I'm getting every bit out of life. I've become so focused and so determined to educate you to be able to cut through illusory appearances and obstacles in order to build your dreams and happiness. I want to accomplish more. I want to love more. I want to share meaningful time together with loved ones. In short, I have amplified my existence and I savor it. You'll find yourselves enjoying your parents and siblings more, loving them more while you're still together. Life together and life in general is precious. You'll find yourself, as you X off those open squares, wanting to learn more, wanting to learn to start building values for the world. You'll find yourself thinking that every value you ever make is limited to those open squares, and you'll find yourself wanting to make more and more values as you grow older. One thing is for sure, you'll never waste a portion of your precious life with the life chart.
Wow. Let's stop there.
Okay.
And let's put a mark there so we know that we stopped where you said life chart, because that is so powerful.
It was.
Yeah, to really and I loved your reading, Manny.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because it really shows the power of what a life chart is.